Welcome back to my Jets Connected franchise here on Madden 19. Last episode was the wild card round and we lost to the Jaguars by quite a bit. It was 45-17. I made some changes to the franchise before that game, like I changed the sliders around and everything, and I do like how they played. Even though we got destroyed, we should have gotten destroyed. Even though the Jaguars are 8-8, they are a much better team. They have a really good defense, they have a good offense. The game really should not have been that close. The Jets don't have a good team. I was just able to take them into the playoffs. Now I think the sliders are playing a little more realistically. We'll see how it goes, the opening games of next season. Maybe I'll play a couple preseason games, at least a bit of them, just to get a feel for the sliders as well. But today, we are going to be doing the off-season and the end-of-season stats and awards and all that good stuff. This might be a longer episode because I'm going to go over pretty much every single stat I can, and I'm also going to do free agency and the draft. So this could be a pretty long episode. If you guys want to skip to different segments of it, feel free to do so if you don't really care about some of this stuff. So Carson Wentz won MVP. We're going to start here with the stats of the team. Sam Darnold, 3,277 yards at 19 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Started to play well near the end of the season. Didn't play well in the wild card game. Did have 2 touchdowns though. I don't think those count into this category here. Averaging just over 200 yards a game. He also missed 1 game. It says he was, active for 16 games. He started all 16 games, but he did get hurt for one of them on like the first or second play. So add about 200 yards onto that. He should probably be around like 3,500 yards with 20-something-ish touchdowns. Not a great season by any means. Not really good at all. 10 interceptions really isn't terrible for a rookie, but I really needed more touchdowns and more yards. Tevin Coleman was having a great season before he got injured. He got injured a couple times, actually. He had 6 touchdowns, 907 yards. And he played 11 games, so that's a pretty good average there. Jeremy Hill played pretty well in relief of Tevin Coleman. Elijah McGuire got some touches. Sam Darnold fumbled 12 times, had 3 rushing touchdowns though. Trenton Cannon played kind of well too. Receiving wise, Robbie Anderson, clearly the best option here. 70 catches, 1,143 yards with 8 touchdowns. That is a fantastic season to have. Jermaine Kearse, 60 catches, 830 yards, 5 touchdowns. He was reliable for us as well. Jordan Leggett played pretty well, kind of just fell down on the depth chart to Terrell Pryor. I kind of liked how Pryor was playing, so I decided to move him up. He did not get a touchdown all season, though. Ardarius Stewart played really well in this past playoff game. He had 2 touchdowns. Tevin Coleman didn't get into the end zone once. He had so many receptions. Well, 26 isn't so many, but 88 yards is terrible for that. Elijah McGuire had more yards on far less receptions. Quincy Enunwa got a couple grabs. Jeremy Hill, Herndon, Trenton Cannon, St. Brown got 1 catch, and it was in the game against the Patriots. Blocking was not great this season. There were a lot of sacks let up. The numbers don't look like astronomical, but still, Brandon Shell in 11 games let up 15 sacks. That's really bad. Kelvin Beachum let up a sack a game pretty much. James Carpenter, 10 in 14 games. Jonathan Harris, 8 in 13. Not great. Spencer Long played really well, though. Did not let up a sack. I don't think we have to draft a center then, honestly. I'm comfortable with him playing there. Dakota Dozier only played 4 games. Probably not that many downs. He played 106 downs. Played more than Travis Swanson and let up less sacks. That's pretty cool. On the defensive side, Avery Williamson, 125 tackles, 120 for Darren Lee. This is why we made the playoffs, I think. The defense was so good. We just look at the tackle for loss numbers. 27 for Avery Williamson, 26 for Darren Lee, 18 for Leonard Williams, 14 for Jordan Jenkins, 12 for Lorenzo Malden. Sacks, 9.5 for Leonard Williams. No one broke 10, but still that's a good season by Leonard Williams with 18 tackles for loss. 8.5 for Jordan Jenkins, 8.5 for Courtney Upshaw as well. 10 interceptions from Darren Lee. Insanely good season. 7 for Marcus May, 6 for Tremaine Johnson, 4 from Avery Williamson and Morris Claiborne, 3 for Jordan Jenkins, who's normally pass rushing. Still managed 3 picks. Jamal Adams had 2, so did J.J. Wilcox. Lorenzo Malden, I'm pretty sure, had our first interception. I could be wrong, but I think he might actually have one of our only pick 6s as well. Brian Poole had an interception. Terrence Brooks had a pick as well. Check out forced fumbles here. 3 for Steve McClendon, not bad at all. 2 for Jordan Jenkins, Jamal Adams, and then 1 from Marcus May. Fumble recoveries, 1 from a couple of different guys there. Fumble return yards, no one really got many at all. Safeties, we have a couple. We have 3, Tremaine Johnson, Darren Lee, and Leonard Williams. Each got a safety. Defensive touchdowns, so we have 2, Darren Lee and Lorenzo Malden. So, really good effort there by the defense. If you want to look at the individual stats here, I think this can be nice to look at. Apparently the Falcons had the best total offense. Who had the worst? The Colts had the worst total offense. Where were we in that? 31st. Oh no, that's offense. Wait, yeah, total yards gained. Okay, I think that attributes like kickoffs and stuff maybe? I feel like it does. But the Colts did have the worst offensive yards. We were second. Passing yards, we were worst. We didn't even get over 3,000. How did that happen? Oh, I think it counts sacks into that because Sam Darnold did have over 3,000 passing yards. Rushing yards, though, we were near the top, actually. We were in the top 5. The Cowboys were the best at that. Points per game, we were not last. Where were we in that? Actually pretty good, apparently. Like, middle of the pack, 23 points a game still isn't too bad. Passing touchdowns, we're probably last. We're tied for last with the Broncos. Rushing touchdowns, I don't think we have a ton of those either. You only have 14 first downs gained. We're in the bottom 5 for that as well. Check out defense, I guess. Pass yards allowed. The least went to the Packers, but we had the worst. So we let up the most amount of passing yards. The Packers let up the least. Rushing yards, I feel like we're really good at this. Yeah, we are. The Jaguars, the team we just lost to, is just as good. A little bit better. Points allowed, pretty good in that department as well. Sacks, we should be pretty good in this department. Yeah, we actually are. We're up there as well. Fumbles, or fumble recoveries, I guess. Nothing special there. Only 8. Interceptions, we should be first. We are first by double. The Vikings are in second with 20, and we have 40. So our defense played really well, even though they're ranked 31st. That's in like offensive or like yards allowed. But still, I mean, we played really well there. Carson Wentz wins MVP. Nobody from the Jets is going to be in like really any of these lists for the offensive categories. Darren Lee wins Defensive Player of the Year, though. That's why he had so many experience points. Avery Williamson comes in 6th. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Sam Darnold was not able to win that. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson each finish above him. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Rashaan Evans. Best quarterback goes to Phillip Rivers. Sam Darnold, of course, nowhere to be found. Best running back goes to Le'Veon Bell. Tevin Coleman, nowhere to be found. Bruce Ellington wins Best Wide Receiver in this franchise. Robbie Anderson, though, comes in 5th. Best Offensive Lineman goes to Rodney Hudson. Best Defensive Lineman, Khalil Mack. Leonard Williams, though, comes in 9th. Best Linebacker, of course, goes to Darren Lee. Avery Williamson and Jordan Jenkins both make the list as well. Best Defensive Back goes to Marcus May with his breakout sophomore season. Tremaine Johnson comes in 2nd. Morris Claiborne comes in 7th. And then Cairo Santos wins Best Kicker. I don't think he missed a field goal. I didn't even actually check those out. Let me give some respect to the kicker and the punter. Cairo Santos was 39 for 39 with a 67-yard field goal in there. Lack Edwards, 52.5 yards a punt. Seems really good. Inside the 20, he had 34 of his 87 punts inside the 20. Pretty good. Kick returns, Demier Bird at 1,305 return yards. No touchdowns for anyone. Punt returns, no touchdowns either. Demier Bird had 326 yards. So there go the stats for our team. We had a couple guys play really well, a couple guys not play well. I'm hoping Darnold can have a good sophomore season. That would be awesome. I'm also really looking to draft some offensive linemen, but Spencer Long surprised me at center. He played really well. Maybe I will still draft one late, and he can slide to backup or something. I don't know, but I will go to the Pro Bowl and check out the roster of the Pro Bowl, and then let you guys know what the Super Bowl's going on, like what the playoff picture looked like and all that good stuff. This is what the Pro Bowl looks like. Phillip Rivers, Tom Brady, Blake Bortles make it for the AFC. I'm not going to name everyone, but I'll just kind of scroll through it here, see if anybody from our team made it. Bruce Ellington, the first wide receiver. Pretty interesting. Robbie Anderson did not make it. I thought he had a pretty good shot. Nobody from our offensive line should be in here. That's how it's going to be. Nobody from our defensive line so far. Yeah, no one from our defensive line makes it. Darren Lee and Avery Williamson. We have both middle linebackers. That's actually really cool. Joe Hayden is here. Morris Claiborne, maybe? No, he didn't make it. Marcus May is the free safety. Jamal Adams did not make it. Cairo Santos and Lack Edwards, both of our special teams guys, made it. Quincy Enunwa? Did he even get a punt return? I don't know, but he made it as a punt returner somehow. Now I'm just going to go through the playoff picture and what that looks like. So let's start in the wild card. So of course, we lost our game down there to the Jaguars. The Cowboys ended up beating the Falcons. The Steelers beat the Raiders, and the Packers beat the Redskins. In the next round, the Jaguars moved on again, beating the Chargers. The Eagles go down to the Cowboys. The Patriots take down the Steelers by quite a bit. That's easily the most dominant game of the playoffs so far. Actually, probably not. Probably the Jaguars game against us was, but at least in this round. And then the Packers were able to take down the Rams. In this game, the Jaguars go down, so the team we lost to is not going to make it to the Super Bowl. It's going to be between the Steelers and the Packers. So that's what the that's what the Super Bowl is going on right now. Let me advance the week here to go to the offseason, and let's see who won the Super Bowl. As you guys can see at the top there, the Steelers ended up taking down the Packers 28-21. Interesting Super Bowl there. But right now, we can bring back a couple players to the team. I will definitely be doing this. So Jeremy Hill, I do want back. Let's give him a 4-year deal for that much money. I'm comfortable paying that for Jeremy Hill. He played pretty well this season. Damiere Byrd was a good kick returner. He's just really fast. He's not very elusive. So I'm thinking I can just replace him pretty easily. I don't think I'm going to bring him back. Terrell Basham I do want back, though. He's good. He's young. He's really good depth at the outside linebacker position. He's coming back to the team. Perry Nickerson I want back. He's very fast. So he's a good cornerback as well for the depth purposes at least. Coming back to the team, Equanimous St. Brown. He's very tall and he is pretty decent wide receiver. 90 speed, 79 catching. Good enough for me. He can stay on the team. Okay, he's coming back to the team. Trevor Knight, Steve McClendon, Jermaine Curse, Quincy Enunwa. I don't think I'm going to bring back any of these guys because I want to draft the wide receiver or sign one in free agency. So Jermaine Curse played well, I understand, but I think I'm going to let him go. Quincy Enunwa, I'm for sure letting Quincy Enunwa go. Nothing against him, it's just that I like how Ardarius Stewart is playing in the slot. I want to draft somebody else to play the number 2. So I think I'm going to roll with a rookie. If I signed Jermaine Curse, he would probably be like the 4th string wide receiver. And I think I'd rather just let him go start for another team. Steve McClendon played well, but he's regressing a lot, so I'm not going to worry about him. Morris Claiborne played kind of well too, but he's going down on overall a ton. He's good press coverage. He still has decent coverage stats, but that's also boosted by confidence. I'm going to let him go and try to draft a corner. Terrell Pryor, he's a 76. He regressed 4 overall points. I'm going to let him go, I think, too, because we still have Jordan Leggett and we still have Herndon. And I think there is going to be a tight end like that I can select, so I'm going to keep that. Courtney Upshaw went down in overall a ton. Lorenzo Malden, I'll bring back Lorenzo Malden. He's good depth as well. He's only 26 years old, too. I'm going to try to get him for under like $2 million for the salary. Is he going to take this? Okay, so he's not going to take that. I'm not going to franchise tag Lorenzo Malden. It's not that big of a deal. I don't think I'm going to bring back any of these guys over here. None of them really pique my interest that much. They're all kind of old and like aren't going to develop into anything, so I'm okay with letting all those guys go. I can fill some of those holes in free agency. I'm going to miss Jermaine Curse. He played well for us. Maybe if he's not getting any offers, I can give him a lowball deal in the offseason here in free agency. So let's advance to free agency. We have $66.91 million. We can ball out if there's anyone good here. Delaney Walker is the top player. Trevor Williams would be a great acquisition at corner. He fits the scheme as well. Jonathan Hankins would be interesting. He's getting a ton of points already, though. Kenny Vaccaro don't really need. Darrell Williams. I would have loved to get Darrell Williams, but he's getting a ton of points from the Redskins. Trent Brown is here, though. I think I definitely have to go after Trent Brown to help with pass blocking. He is going to be someone I for sure go after. Dante Fowler would be nice, but I don't really want to move him to outside linebacker. Trent Murphy, same kind of goes for him. Frank Clark would be interesting as well, but again, I'm not going to move him. I do want a running back, but I also want to draft a running back. I'm not seeing anyone down here who I really, really want to go after. Dante Moncrief made it to free agency. Bobby McCain wouldn't be bad. He's getting a ton of points, though. Okay, so, Eddie Goldman. I didn't think I'd find someone like him. He's good. He's still young. I'm going after Eddie Goldman. Okay, so let me go after the guys I want, and I'll let you know which one of them accepts. I went after 3 players, and they all accepted. Trevor Williams, Trent Brown, and Eddie Goldman are coming over to the Jets. They're going to help out this team a lot. Trent Brown hopefully can be an anchor at offensive, at the offensive line, at offensive tackle. And then hopefully Eddie Goldman can wreak havoc at defensive tackle. I think he might just remain the starter. Trevor Williams moving to the number 1 cornerback position. I might be moving Brian Poole in the draft. because there's a good-looking corner. There's like a really good-looking corner in this draft, and I think I want to select him. But now, I'll do the rest of my scouting, and I'll see you guys in the draft. I am at the number 4 overall pick now, and I think this is where I'm going to trade up. I'm kind of worried that the Buccaneers might select this guy. So let me see what kind of trade I can get going. I am willing to offer... Oh, Tevin Coleman is not a good idea to trade right now. I was going to offer Tevin Coleman, but that would be a huge cap hit if I decided to do that. So I'm going to keep Tevin Coleman for now. Maybe trade him at the start of next season. I wanted to trade Brian Poole too. The cap hit doesn't make too much sense, but we can actually afford it. So I'm okay with doing this. I'm actually really okay with doing this. They really need a corner. Brian Poole, they're interested in. I want the first overall pick. Unless I can get something else to go through. Like, I want Terrell Basham. What about my left guard? Nope. That's not going to happen. My free safety? No, I don't have a backup free safety, and I don't have a good left tackle. So it might have to be Brian Poole. Could be Kelvin Beachum if they want him. They want Kelvin Beachum. This changes the game. Because I don't want to give away my 14th overall pick. I'm going to try to give my 22nd Kelvin Beachum and... Who's Tion Green? This might be able to go through. I'm not sure who Tion Green is, but I'm going to try this. It worked. We have the 4th overall pick. I was kind of sure that was going to go through. It probably would have went through without Green, but I'm giving the Buccaneers there Kelvin Beachum, as you can see. Obviously, I don't know why I'm even going over the trade. You guys saw me construct it. I'm not even going to talk anymore. That was a really good trade for us because we cleared a lot of cap doing that. We also moved up to number 4, and with this pick, I am going with the first guy on my draft board, Stephen Montgomery. He looks like a great cornerback. 4.63, nope, 4.36 speed is very good. Good 3-cone, good 20-yard shuttle, very good top 3 skills. Maybe this is the cousin of Brandon Montgomery. I think that's his name from Not Yet Experts Do GF Pandas. Maybe, I don't know. A weird storyline going on, but let's select him. I think he's going to be phenomenal. 79 overall, quick development. He's good, right? He's good, not as good as I expected. 93 speed is great. 81 man coverage, not bad. 86 zone coverage is very good. 78 press, 87 acceleration, 90 agility. Not as good as I thought. He won the Heisman as well, so that also kind of like made me pick the way I did because I thought he'd have a better development trait than Quick. I'm still not upset though. I'm happy with that pick. I'm now at my second first-round draft pick. It's pick number 14. And here I want to select a guard who is still here. I'm very happy Brady Schneider is still available. So if you guys remember, I think it might have been Le'Veon Pollard, who I was really high on. I really don't remember who it was. One of these guards was supposed to be like a second-round guy. It could even be... No, I don't think it's anybody still in the second round. I think his draft stock changed to the first round. He may have already been selected. It could have been Le'Veon Pollard. I really don't remember. But Brady Schneider looks insane. 42 reps. That should be over 95 strength. 4.86 speed is really good. It's first for right guards. Good broad jump. This dude's athletic. He's big. He's strong. He's on the team. 83 overall, quick development, ranked first. This is exactly what we needed. And I'm pretty sure he had hair in his picture. Regardless, this is exactly what we needed for this offensive line. 95 strength, 82 run, 81 pass, 81 pass block power, 88 impact block as well, good lead block. I am extremely happy with this selection. I am in the second round right now. My next pick is in the mid-third, and I have another pick then shortly after that one. So I could go with a wide receiver, but this guy really doesn't look that good. I want a good number 2 wide receiver, so I don't really want that guy. I could go with another offensive lineman. I think this might be the look. Huston Goldman looks pretty decent. Dan Watts, supposed to be a mid-third round talent, does not look nearly as good as Goldman, and I don't want to risk like trading away and then trying to get another pick in the second round to select this guy, so I'm going to go with Goldman here. 6'6", he's a big man, very strong as well. 75 overall normal development. Okay, we reached a bit. Ranked 77th. We took him at number 40. 87 strength, 85 lead block, 83 impact block. Not a phenomenal pick, but he's still going to play. I am going to be trading this draft pick away, but I want to still get a draft pick for this season. There's a 7th rounder from the Saints. There's a 3rd next year for them. That's good value for next year, but I want a better draft pick for this season. I think I might go with the Broncos. I'm getting a 6th the next year and a 4th this year. I'm going to go with that. And then with my next pick, I think I'm going to start selecting some players. So, there's a a defensive tackle I think I might be selecting now. He's supposed to go in the 4th round, but Marshall Hoyt looks kind of good. 33 reps really isn't bad. B- tackle and pursuit, C+ block shed. I don't know if I want to pull the trigger on him or if I want to go with a corner, though. Margarito Thomas. Ooh, he looks pretty decent, too, because of his speed isn't bad, and he has good agility and acceleration. I think Margarito Thomas might actually have to be the selection here. I'm going to pull the trigger on him. 75 overall, normal development. We drafted 2 corners in this draft, and they're both actually pretty good. The other guy was much better, but this dude is just going to be, just on the depth chart, like the 4th corner. We have another pick in the 3rd round here. That 2nd round wide receiver is still here. Marvin Council is very, very enticing, but I think I want other players rather than him, so I don't think I'm going to pull the trigger on that. I still want Carol Macklin, I think. He's not that fast. That's the only thing that concerns me with him. Jamarius Sutton might be a little better if I'm being honest. But right now I think I might go with that defensive tackle just to get a backup D tackle who's pretty good. But then again, I have like Nate Shepard. I think that's his name. He's not bad. He can be a backup defensive tackle for sure. I think I might just go with Marvin Council. I feel like he's too good not to select right now. 75 with normal. Okay, so that was a pretty good draft pick. 94 speed. 77 elusiveness. Okay. 78 juke move. This guy could potentially be our kick returner for this year. I'm not too mad about that draft pick. I'm pretty sure I'm going to pull the trigger on this left tackle. I think he's going to be good enough. There are 2 decent looking tight ends here. Antoine Bean, Vital Clements. So I'm okay with not selecting one of those guys right now. Actually, let me actually look a little further. Early 5th round talent. Early 5th round talent. Okay, so I'm going to go with Curtis Hood. I think he's going to be better in the long run. 76 overall quick development. That is a great pick. I think he's going to be starting at left tackle as well. 88 strength, pretty good. 80 pass block, not bad. 83 pass block power. Not a bad looking left tackle. His injury is actually kind of low at 88, but that's still okay. One of those tight ends got selected. So I should probably go with Antoine Bean at some point then. Man, I kind of wanted the other guy. I don't think this Antoine Bean dude is going to be too good. Alright, so let me just look around really quick. Carol Macklin's still here. I do want him. I also really want Keiwan McGee. I think I might just select Keiwan McGee because I think he's going to be the best out of everybody who's still left. Let's go with him. 75, quick development. Not a bad receiver at all. 6'4" with 91 speed. Okay. 78 catching, 87 spectacular catch, 88 short route running. Medium and deep aren't the greatest. This guy's still going to play a lot, though, I think. I think we might end up not getting a running back. There's still this guy. Like, I could... Ooh, this guy's fast. Avery Cross might have to be the running back if there's none left. So Sheldon Lee is here. This guy didn't actually look too good. I just threw him on the draft board because he was kind of fast. I do want this quarterback as well. I might have to trade up in this draft again. I do want to get a pretty good backup quarterback. I'm good with not selecting, like, anyone else who's, like, randomly down here. I want this running back, though. I'm going to pull the trigger. Avery Cross. I said pull the trigger a lot today, didn't I? B+ carrying, B- elusiveness, C+ juke move, 4.46 speed. Not bad. What are you all about, friend? 74 overall quick development. What's your speed? 91 speed, 85 acceleration, 85 agility, 87 carrying. Okay. I think I might have to kind of turn to you guys here. Let me know what you want me to do. I'm completely down for starting Avery Cross for this season. Good catching, good short route running as well. I'm perfectly good with starting this guy and trading Tevin Coleman. Let me know in the comments what you want me to do. If you want me to keep Tevin Coleman, I'm fine with that too. But I'm also okay with trading Coleman and starting Cross. I accidentally just simmed my next draft pick. I can't take that quarterback. That sucks. I wanted that quarterback. There's no chance he's still here. That is really rough, but that's okay. Anybody left? I have this wide receiver who looks pretty fast. That was the only reason why I threw him on my board. I wanted to take that quarterback, man. There's not going to be a good quarterback here. That's okay. We still have Davis Webb as our backup. Like, he's perfectly fine. Chilling down there. So I guess I'll just go with, like, the fastest player. I think that's why I threw that dude on my draft board. Just in case he can turn out to be, like, a pretty good punt returner. I'm just kind of going through to see if there's any good combine grades left. I don't think there are going to be anyone. I don't think there's going to be anyone who's decent. Yeah, okay. Is there a fullback? I could use a fullback as well. I can also just sign one. I'll just sign a fullback in free agency. Let's go with this guy. Gordon Finch. 4.39 speed's pretty good. That's really all he's about here. 64 overall. Don't really care about the overall too much. 93 speed. He's a good kick returner. This guy might be our kick returner. Here is one last overview of the draft. So, it wasn't my best. Drafted a ton of players in the mid-70s. But we also got Brady Schneider, the best player in the entire class. I think he makes up for having a couple misses, for sure. He is huge. 95 strength is phenomenal. We have another cornerback who is going to start. Probably in the slot. He'll probably be like the nickel corner. The 79 overall slot corner. Great there. Another good starting offensive lineman. Like a potential 4th string corner. I'm okay with that for sure. Marvin Council could be a kick returner. Just a random player who comes in every once in a while. Starting left tackle. Starting number 2 wide receiver, potential starting running back, depending on what you guys want me to do, and then a kick returner. So everyone who drafted here has a purpose, really. I'm okay with the entire draft. Let's check out the rest of the NFL, though. Take a look at a couple guys who have been scouting like the entire season, who shaped up to be really good. So, of course, we had the number 1 rated player. We couldn't have really went wrong, though, with going with Le'Veon Pollard. He looks just as good. Same strength, just worse stats in some categories, so I'm glad we did go with Schneider. Darren Sullivan looks pretty good. He would have been a nice left tackle to go after. Some good offensive linemen in this draft. That was a good draft to have. Sherman Hannon. This was one of the wide receivers I could have went after. 6'2". He was 24 years old. That was the main reason why I didn't want him. Good short route running, though. Good catching. Good catch in traffic. That guy looks really good. He's going to be a beast one day in the NFL. Jermaine Hartwell. This guy had a good story about him. He has star development too at free safety. Man, Buccaneers got a really good player. This guy also had a good story. He has quick development. Decent looking player there, not bad. Anyone else? Rashad Edebali, my bad. Superstar dev left tackle. Man, this guy could turn out to be the best offensive lineman in this class after a couple years because of his development trait. Addison Hunt was another good wide receiver. 89 speed, 82 catching. Okay, so let me find a couple guys who I was really close to selecting, like the running backs and all that stuff, and the quarterbacks. So let me look at the later rounds, see, what those guys are all about. Carol Macklin ended up being a 76 overall. Oh, he has star development. This would have been so much fun if I drafted him. 87 speed, 89 acceleration, 86 agility, 87 spin move, 88 carrying. Oh, I wish I drafted him. He doesn't have good speed, but he would have been a really fun project player. Jamarius Sutton, 91 speed, normal development. He looks like the better running back, just at face value with his stats. This is another guy I almost ended up selecting. I didn't end up going with him, obviously. I think the safety was a dude I wanted too. He looked nice. Had him on my draft board. Just in case he happened to be pretty good, I just threw him on there. But yeah, these late round talent in this draft is actually kind of good. Antoine Bean, one of the tight ends I could have went with. Nothing special, actually. 77 speed, 77 catching. I actually didn't even notice the other tight end. It was Vidal Clements, 77 overall, normal development. Again, nothing like spectacular. I'm really okay with not selecting him either. This was the quarterback I think I was going to go with. George Kerman, 74 overall. Ooh, he has really bad deep accuracy. So he's okay. Like, he's a lot better than our backup, but still, not the end of the world I didn't select him. As of now, this is what the team looks like. I like it. I like it a lot. So the offensive line is completely revamped, but we needed that for sure. Wide receiver core, looking a little depleted. Robbie Anderson's very good still. Council's currently the number 2. Ideally, I'd have it like this. I was thinking about having our Darius Stewart start a full season in the slot because he played pretty well at the end of the season. But if you guys want me to start Council, totally down for that as well. McGee will be the number 2 though. I'm not going to like change him around. He's definitely just going to be the number 2. We kind of need a tight end. That's not a bad look right now. And then this is what the defense looks like. I realized that, I didn't bring back Lorenzo Malden. But we have Terrell Basham. I brought him back. 25 years old. Very talented outside linebacker. Not the best block shed, but we can get that up. I'm okay with him starting. Honestly, I'm okay with him starting for the entire season. We have Montgomery, who is going to play slot corner. Brian Poole then is on the trade block. So let me know if you want me to trade for players or if you want me just to throw them on the trade block. I think if I ended up trading them, I would just throw them on the trade block and just get draft picks. But I guess the question pretty much is, let me know if you want me to trade Tevin Coleman. Because I am going to trade Brian Poole, pretty much regardless. Let me know if you want me to trade Tevin Coleman. I'll keep him on the team if you want me to, but Cross could potentially also, be the starter. He's quick development. He could turn out to be a beast. I'm going to run through the trade block really fast because there's also a chance I could trade one of those guys for somebody on the trade block. I think that's what I'll allow for this season. So let's take a look at the quarterbacks. Nick Foles, Jacoby Brissett, Kyle Loletta. No one interesting. Derrick Henry's on the trade block. I'm not going to trade for any of these guys here. I don't really need a running back. I'm okay with my running back group. I do need a fullback, so I'll sign one of those. Here's a look at the wide receivers. I'm not going to go after any wide receivers, I don't think. Tight ends, I could totally go after. Dallas Goedert fits the scheme and is on the trade block. I am really thinking about going after Dallas Goedert. Let me just see what I could do for this. He would be awesome to have. Are the Eagles interested in Brian Poole? If they are, I'll do it. Oh, hold on. I messed that up. If the Eagles are interested in Brian Poole, I will definitely execute this trade. They're not interested in Brian Poole. I'm just curious. How far does this go up? That's doable. That is 1,000,000% doable with our team. I really want Dallas Goedert. Let me know if you guys would want me to go after him because that would be fun. He can be a new starting tight end. Let's keep going here. We don't really need any offensive linemen anymore. After one draft, the offensive line is looking nice. So that's cool to see. Don't really think I need any defensive linemen. Sheldon Rankins would be good, but now we have Eddie Goldman. Eric Armstead would be a pretty good defensive end, but I think I'm okay. Don't need really... I mean, we could use an outside linebacker because we have Terrell Basham starting. I'm good at middle linebacker. I'm okay with who we have. Tim Williams could be an interesting trade option. I wouldn't mind going after Tim Williams or Shaquem Griffin. He's a scheme fit as well. Corner, I'm really okay with my cornerbacks. Safeties, I'm good with. I don't really even want to bother with safeties. No kickers, no punters. So I think the only potential players I'd want to go after would be Dallas Goedert, Shaquem Griffin, or Tim Williams. Let me know if you would, want me to go after any of those guys. But thank you very much for watching this episode. I think it was a pretty successful one. It was a good draft. We drafted a lot of starters, and I'm excited to play with this team next time. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.